Well, good afternoon. It is May 1st. Hello, it's Tami Lea, and I'm going to spend the next 30 days with you, sharing with you a little bit about my life. As you know, I have cystic fibrosis, and because it's a disease that's so very rare and so many people know so little about, and also so very few are blessed to live as long as I've been able to live and have as full a life as I've been able to have. So it's time that I share with you a little bit about my story in my life, a lot about cystic fibrosis and my daily life. And I can't do it all in one day. I can't do it in a day, and week, or a month. But I want to give you 30 days of what it's like when you have and you live with cystic fibrosis, and let people have a little bit better understanding. The movie 5 Feet Apart was fabulous. So sad. Oh my gosh. And it's so true. It was based on a true story. And as we all know, every cystic fibrosis story is different. There's so many different mutations, so many different variables to the disease. And I myself, the mutations that I have, when I was born, they didn't even have testing for cystic fibrosis. And as a young girl, and I was always sick all the time. They had me tested for allergies and stuff. They thought I had severe allergies, which I did. I was allergic to everything. So I blame my environment as to why I could never ever breathe. It was always the air maybe coming out of the filters in the heat ducts or air conditioning, whatever. But I blame the air. It's all the things you can't see that's floating around in the air, whether it be dirt, dust, pollen, pollution, animals, you name it. I could find an excuse or a reason as to why I couldn't breathe based off of my environment. And so my whole life I assumed, as I was told as a little girl, I had severe allergies, and I treated my breathing problems accordingly. So 5 years ago is when I found out that I had cystic fibrosis. And after living a relatively, I say healthy life, I had a very healthy lifestyle. I was always sick from when I was younger. In fact, when I was, I believe, 11, 12 years old, I was very sick with, was like pneumonia, and I was in the hospital for a couple of months. At that point in time, they had the testing for CF. They probably would have and could have tested me then. And had they, well, I wouldn't be here today, because the harsh drugs and chemicals that they have been using, not just then, but still today, to treat people with cystic fibrosis. If you live through the drugs, then that in itself is a miracle. But also, because there's so many different mutations and so many variables to this disease, that you can't treat everybody across the board the same way with the same drugs, the same treatments, the same therapies. It doesn't work. When I was very first diagnosed, I told them, no way, I cannot have cystic fibrosis. I am the rock hard lady. I'm the queen of health and fitness. Well, I was wrong. Needless to say, when you think you're super healthy, and I felt very healthy my whole life, physically fit, relatively good shape, and you think that is good health. However, what was happening on the inside continued to go on, and in 2014, when I was actually diagnosed with this disease, the reason I even had to go to a pulmonologist in the first place is I had been involved in a dump fire in far northern Canada, in Iqaluit. Some of you guys have heard me talk about this before. I was in far northern Canada Nunavut, clear up by Greenland and Iceland, in which there was a dump fire. This fire burned for about 4 months, and because it was right next to the ocean, they couldn't just put it out, so it smoldered. And this is a very, 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 very small community where I was. No place to go or get off of, quote, the island in the middle of nowhere. And that smoke smoldered for 4 months. I was, basically surrounded by it. And when I got back to the United States, my lungs were so full. They felt like my body was twice as big, and my lungs were full up to here with sludge. And I went to the emergency room when I got back to the United States, and they said that I needed to get into a pulmonologist. Saw Dr. Saifi, who was the first doctor to diagnose me, and then he sent me to Dr. Nakamura in Las Vegas. And the two doctors confirmed that I did have cystic fibrosis and started me on massive antibiotics and drugs and inhaled medications. A lot of the medications I probably needed initially to get rid of all the gunk that had filled my lungs up. But cystic fibrosis is like rubber cement and peanut butter, and it's really, really, really thick. And I tell everybody I cough rubber cement up that's stuck to my toes, and it takes all day, all morning, half the day to get it up and out. But that's what cystic fibrosis does, is it causes this sludge that covers all your organs and your airways. So people who have it have to cough this nasty stuff out in order to be able to breathe. And a lot of the medications that they give you are to maybe help thin this out, make it easier to cough. Some of the medications are to help make you cough. At any rate, when they first diagnosed me, they had me on over $35,000 a month of pharmaceutical drugs. You guys can see I'm not a big lady. That's enough to probably kill a horse. And I was getting sicker and sicker. If people go back to videos from when I was first diagnosed to today, I'm so much better today than I was 4 or 5 years ago, because I was so very ill, as well as all the medications were making me so very sick. I had been given so many drugs, and so many harsh drugs, my body was just unable to process everything, as was I. And through the course of time, I realized that these drugs were making me sicker. I lost my voice. I was unable to do many things. And I had no energy. I had no smile. I had no get up and go. All I was doing was medication, and it was just making me cough and get sicker and weaker. So as I started to get off the medications, I slowly felt my body getting healthier, and a sense of getting a little more energy. And I wasn't being controlled and dictated by 9 nebulized drugs and other inhaled drugs, and then other pills and medications and stuff. It was unbelievable. And as I got off of all of these inhalers and nebulizers and steroids, a lot of these drugs have steroids in them, I was able to get better control of myself, my life, a better feel as to how my body was actually feeling and experiencing the whole disease, because they had me doing so many medications that I couldn't even really feel my feelings, because all I could feel was frustration and anger from this medication and how sick my body was and how much sicker it was getting. So when I started to get off the drugs, started to feel better, started to get control of my life again, and get a better quality of life. It's been a long road, as everyone knows. On top of all of that, I fell from the scaffolding in 2016, just 3 years ago, shattered my leg. I've been through an unbelievable number of things the last few years, but as you know, and everybody who knows me, it doesn't matter what it is. I will survive. I'm a fighter. I will rock and I will survive. It's just what I do. In regards to that, part of my fight, as I've been saying, is breathing in the air. Anytime when I go out, I have to wear a mask. And there's so many masks out there. I've tried them all, and they're uncomfortable. They take up a lot of space, and then when people see you with a mask, especially little kids, they're like, oh no, what the? So I've been working for at least 2 years, maybe 3 years, to try to get a company to make masks with emojis so I could express my personality when I put my mask on. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get anyone to do them. So, you know, I don't take no for an answer. And I made them myself. So, because I like to be happy and I like to make others happy, I have what I call my Breathe Happy face masks, which just do that. They make others happy. And when I'm not feeling good, I can wear my one that says I'm really sad and feeling blue. Or when I'm feeling like singing, I can wear my notes and sing away. Or when I'm in the garden, I can wear my garden mask and have a great day. So anyway, as you know, my masks are not only fashionable, but of course they're functional. It's a one-strap mask, which makes it very nice and easy. You don't have 2 loops going over your ears or anything. Quick and easy. You put it on over your ears. There's a small metal piece. You will adjust around your nose, and whoa, there you go. You can breathe happy and share that you're feeling good. So kisses to everyone, and have a great day. So I look forward to sharing my Breathe Happy masks with you and everyone around the world. And I will be having these available for sale throughout my website with monthly subscriptions to where you can get a Breathe Happy mask. Actually, 4 new Breathe Happy masks every month and 30 filters. So you have a new filter and mask for each day of the week. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to helping you all breathe happy and healthy. See you soon.